How do you handle stress on flights?
Smile.
Favorite Dubai attraction for first-time visitors?
Dubai Museum.
What is that one lesson that you have learned and always go by that within your journey within Emirates,
Always treat people with kindness.
In terms of your flying schedule, what was it like? So during this 7 days of the week, how many days were you flying? How many days was rest?
15 days on, 15 days off.
Life somewhat is difficult as a cabin crew, isn't it? It looks like a very easy job, but I don't think it is very easy,
Lack of sleep, disturbed schedules.
With your experience with all these newcomers who are coming in this industry, is travel the only motivating factor, or you reckon money is also a very big motivating factor?
I always say to people, always have a plan B.
Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Dubai Uncovered. Today we have a veteran guest in our show today who's lived here for the past 40 years. And we are hoping to get a lot of information from her as to what life was back then and what she sees Dubai going forward. Please welcome Judy.
Hello.
Hi Judy, how are you doing?
Good, thank you, Waseem.
It's a pleasure hosting you today.
Thank you very much. And it's great being back in the
Pleasure.
studios.
Yes.
Thank you.
I'll give you this opportunity to introduce yourself. I'm not going to say a lot. I'll give you the floor. So maybe you can tell our audience what has been the 40 years that you've lived in Dubai all about.
Do you have about 2 years?
Yeah, take your time.
So it has been a long journey of, naturally 40 years is a long time. I came here when, I was 2 years old.
Wow.
Kidding. So I'm kidding.
We can hide that.
So, but I came here with, my parents were here and then, so I came here and the family was here and they started off, working I didn't intend to work for anyone else. I had very, very different idea of what I was going to do being out of university and working here. And along the way, Emirates was very new. And it was possibly one of the most natural job to go into for a young girl, when I was here. And that was, my start of my journey into my world in Dubai. And so I was with Emirates for a very long time, for 34 years.
34 years with Emirates.
So, and it was a great journey because I started off as cabin crew.
Mm-hmm.
And we had, and as I said in my previous podcast, we had 5 aircrafts and 500 crew.
Mm-hmm.
And we were a very, very small airline, just, getting into the point where we were getting noticed by the rest of the world.
Yeah.
When I started off, we had 3 layover destinations: Frankfurt, Colombo, and London Gatwick,
Mm-hmm.
and pretty much flying around the Middle East. What Emirates started in 85, so that 40 years on. Look where it is today. It's just unbelievable. It's been a great journey because I started off as crew and then I moved into training, into operations, into strategic management of the cabin crew.
Mm-hmm.
I had about 800 young people under me. So managing, guiding, supporting, helping them through navigating their lives through being very young into their careers. That took me on to when I decided to hang up my wings and get down to, so I wasn't flying then, but I was in management and leadership management. And I thought, I've had so many young people that I was encountering, managing, and I've got 2 young children myself.
Beautiful.
And it's just this at such a beautiful time in their life,
Mm.
because I think all of us, once we get past a certain age, we want to go back there. And that's what I was
True.
reliving.
Yep.
But it's also a very different world now. And that's, so now my journey's taken me on supporting, helping, guiding young people into the next level of their life, finding a purpose, finding the reason for being. And hence I started and was founder of my company, which is called Soul Empower. So as NLP master coach, NLP master trainer, certified by the American Board of NLP, and as a master hypnotherapist. That's what I do now, is
Okay.
support as many young people as I can into navigating their next journey in their careers, in their lives. And it's very exciting because, I want to reach every year at least 200 or 300 people, and then thousands that I could help to change their lives. So, and it all started from a small seed of being in this beautiful country.
Absolutely. That's what all Dubai is all about.
Yeah.
We all come here
Yeah,
at the initial part of our careers and see where the city takes us,
absolutely.
Yeah. That's Dubai.
Yeah. And you say there's certain parts in the world where it's a land of milk and honey. But honestly, I would say to you and to everyone else, you can make the land of milk and honey wherever you want to make it.
True.
It's up to you.
Absolutely.
So, and Dubai has the right opportunities. It has the right environment. It has the right vibes that you can do so much in.
That's very important.
Yeah.
So getting back to Emirates, you worked with Emirates for 34 years, right? And you've been managing your business now for how many years now?
It's about 3 years.
3 years?
That's
very nice.
Yeah.
So you have 37 years of work experience. Yeah. But I want to shift to the past first. Yeah.
Yep.
Those 34 years with Emirates, you've started off as a cabin crew and then attained a management position wherein you were the guiding force behind a lot of newcomers there. Yeah.
Absolutely.
You've helped a lot of people establish their careers within the company. Yeah.
Within their company and even beyond, outside.
Exactly. Yeah. So how was the initial years? People want to know Emirates history. Yeah. People want to know how an airline with leased aircrafts has been able to manage and achieve the number one position in the world. Yeah. That's everybody's thought process. And within a short period of time of, say, 40 years. Yeah. So how was it in the initial years? How aggressive the management was, or what was the thought process of and the ambition at that point of time for the management to achieve that?
I think going back again, it was the vision of the leadership. And I have to say, I know it's so cliched, but it is the leadership of the country.
It is true. Yeah.
And I'll never forget the time when I was at the training college, and we had there was an air show, I think it was in Dubai, and that's the first times when air shows were coming into Dubai. And His Highness Sheikh Mohammed announced, and we were all at the training college. I was teaching then, and we had about 2,000 crew, maybe about a couple of aircrafts, 20, 30 aircraft. I can't remember the exact number, but not a lot. And we hear over the radio that His Highness there's an order of 100 aircrafts. And at the training college, we were just in shock. We were like, 100 aircrafts? No way. I'm sure there's a mistake there. It's probably 10 aircrafts. And we went back. We thought, how? We've got 20 or less aircrafts now. How do we get 100 aircrafts? There's something
Doesn't
wrong
make sense.
there.
Yeah.
It absolutely. We as trainers, because then the onus falls on us to actually train people, to all the people that are coming in, the recruitment, all of that, the whole process of bringing those people in, training them to manage the growth over 100 aircrafts.
Sure. Yeah.
So it was, and that was the moment, and I'd never forget it, when we were all there standing and listening to this, when we thought, this is the vision, this is the growth, just the start of a huge growth of Emirates and of Dubai,
Yeah.
because they both synced with each other. There's no way Dubai is where it is
Absolutely.
without Emirates, and Emirates is without
Absolutely.
Dubai. And that's how tourism works.
Yep.
You have the aircrafts, you have the transportation, you have the logistics to bring the people in, and you need that. So yeah, that was the defining moment
Mm.
in my life when I thought, this is it. This is an exponential growth that we're
Beginning
going
of
to be going
something
through.
very, very
Yes.
big.
It's huge. It's huge. So yeah.
So again, going back to the past, you've experienced Dubai for a long, long time. How was life back then? And a second part of my question would be, how do you relate to life now as to what it was in the past?
Simple. So and that word means so much.
Yeah.
It was easy, it was simple, it was I recall a time when I was stuck on the road and there was an accident, and someone had hit my car, and I was stuck on the road, and it was the heat of summer, no phones, no way to
Yeah.
get anyone there to help you. It was 2:00 in the afternoon, and you can't move your car then.
Yeah.
Now they say
Yeah.
move your car and all
Yeah.
of that.
You don't have apps back then
And
to register complaints.
absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
It was just simple. You just wait there.
Yeah.
So I waited on the road, and then about an hour later, the police came by, and I said, I've been waiting. And again, it's the simplicity. They apologized to me for
Yeah.
keeping me waiting. Very simple, got the paperwork done. Whose fault is it? But, it was that simple and easy to navigate through.
Yeah.
Maybe a complex situation today would be, have you got the app? If you don't have the app, then, what do you do? How do you take your car? If I take my car to the other side of the road, will someone know that, I'm at fault?
Exactly.
And it's all of these things, that's going on in your mind. Whereas there was very simple. You sit, you wait, things happen.
Yeah.
And this was just a very small classic episode of what happened, but that's how life was. It was easy. It was very simplistic. There was no complications to anything. There was, of course, we realize that with time, technology is again going to be a huge part of the growth.
Yeah.
And you can't have growth without technology.
True.
And that's what's happened now with Dubai. And you can't have growth without vision.
Yes.
Right. And there again, the vision of Dubai and how it was growing. But the funny thing is, I recall I didn't suddenly wake up and think, oh my God, Dubai is going from A to Z. It was all very gradual.
Yes. Yes.
One road comes up, the metro, the trams, the buildings. All of a sudden, you've got all of this real estate going on. The airport's moving from a small, one horse town airport to what it is today: 3 terminals, 4 terminals, and now DWC is where we're
even
going.
bigger.
So so it was, that it was a huge impact on my life, because it all gradually happened, and you absorb it and you embrace it.
Yep.
And you're excited about it, and you go, oh my gosh, and you live with all of it. And I think that's probably one of the joys of the growth, is that you get resilient to all of this. And today I would say to a lot of people, and young people, and even people who are coming into Dubai and experiencing all of that, is resilience to the growth of real estate all over
Yeah.
around you, the traffic
Yeah.
snarls that there may be, the new malls that have come up, education that you've got to start looking for schools for your children, Medicare. This all of that is you building yourself, your values, your resilience to all of this change
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
happens. And I think that probably is again the cornerstone of the joys that we lived in from then and now.
And now, yeah.
Yeah.
I always believe the thing constant with Dubai is change.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You
You cannot live in
no.
Dubai and not expect change
Yeah,
happening, you
yeah.
know. You look at small examples. Yeah. From an infrastructure perspective, this city by far beats any country in the world.
Absolutely.
The government has a vision. Yeah. Come what may, they want to achieve that.
Yeah.
That's the attitude.
Yeah.
Yeah. And to me, that for us as citizens of this city, it gives us a lot of boost, that if the rulers and the country and the management of the country believes in a certain vision, who are we to not believe in that?
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we see that happening with our own eyes. We see changes on a daily basis, whether it's the infrastructure or a new building coming up, or whether it is small things like who could have imagined 5 years ago that a country will come up and say that our government will be paperless. We are.
Yeah. Yeah.
We are paperless.
And that's technology for you. They embrace everything that's new.
But technology is available every part of the world.
Exactly.
Yeah. But you tell me which country has 100% adopted that policy? Not even the most developed countries in the world have adopted that paperless policy.
Absolutely.
It's a small thing I'm talking about, but it matters a lot, end of the day. Yeah. It shows what the economy and what the government is all about. Yeah.
And that's, again, the beauty of this, where we are. And now I recall my son just saying to us, so he's studying in the Netherlands.
Nice.
And he was saying to me, he said, when I say I'm from the UAE, they go, oh,
Is it Dubai?
And when I say I'm from Dubai, they go, oh, of course, we know Dubai. And then, of course, everything else comes up about the tallest building and the tallest this and the biggest that, all of that. So, we're on the map. Definitely.
Dubai is not some place that is going to arrive. Dubai has arrived.
Yes.
And it's established now. Yeah. That's the change that we've seen over the past 10 years at least.
Yeah.
How old is your son?
Son is about to be 22.
22.
And my daughter is 21. Yeah. No, sorry, 20. She's going to kill me with this one. But
we need to show her this one. But they're studying?
She's studying in Spain.
Okay.
And my son is in the Netherlands.
Any particular reason why they're studying abroad and not in Dubai? Dubai's got some very good institutes now.
It has. It's been amazing. But the subjects they took, and and a good question to ask, because with my son, he is doing a subject called water management engineering. And the Netherlands is
one of the best.
One of the best places, because 2/3 of the country has been built underwater, as I hear.
Yeah.
And actually, the Palm was built by Dutch engineers, right? So that was one of the reasons. And with my daughter, she loves Spanish. She learned Spanish, in school. She wanted to improve her Spanish, so she's doing law in Spain.
Okay.
Yeah, and so that was one of the reasons.
That was why. That's fair. Yeah. But we've seen a lot of good universities come here.
Absolutely.
So Dubai is
and
not what it used to be a few years ago, wherein a person a child after maybe year 13 had to compulsorily travel abroad for higher studies, university. Now you have the best of universities out here.
Absolutely. And you know what? In fact, the kids often say to us, we come back. Definitely, they will come back and live and work in Dubai.
Yeah.
Europe is not their choice of home.
It's not anybody's choice anymore.
And and I would say, anyone from the subcontinent, anywhere else in the world, world-class education here. The kids have studied here. They've been born and brought up here, and absolutely um, just as good as any other place in the world. Education is fantastic here.
True. And
So,
we're seeing that trend for the past, at least what I've noticed over the past 2 years. Traditionally, a lot of students and families from the subcontinent, they used to send their children to the UK, to US, Canada to study. Not anymore.
no,
Not anymore.
that's true.
You
Yeah,
see the number of new students. I'm not talking about
true.
university right
Yeah.
now. I'm talking about new students. There have been
Yeah.
25,000 new enrollments only for this year.
This
Yeah.
semester.
That means
Yeah.
new families, new students have, to the tune of 25,000, have come up.
Yep.
There are 1,000 new schools opened up this year.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's a big number
Huge.
for
And
a city.
That's,
For a
and
city.
that's what causes the traffic jams now that it's started as
I mean,
well.
we all
But
like
of
traffic,
course,
City's
yeah.
growing. Why
Yes,
not?
Yeah.
You have to have pain somewhere.
There's got to be.
This is
Yeah,
this is fair enough. Fine.
And I always say, bless that traffic.
Yeah.
Bless the snarls that you have on the road.
It's all good
because
for our business, huh?
it is exactly, because the more you complain about it, the more you get attracted to it, and it worries you. But when you bless it, it multiplies the blessings.
But I've seen a lot of people get used to it.
Resilience again.
Absolutely.
Waseem.
Exactly.
Yeah,
The right word.
absolutely. Yeah.
Any favorite spot in the olden days?
I used to work in Satwa.
Okay.
So, and I love the cafe concepts that they used to have back then.
Back then, yeah.
Yeah. So that was a favorite of mine. I also used to love going into the museum in Bardabai. It's funny, but even today, if you ask me, when tourists come and say, "You've got to go to the museum," and they go, "Oh, there's so many other beautiful places in Dubai, but the museum, and maybe because I'm just a history student myself, and I love history of a place, but it's going back to where it all started. When you go to the museum, and I don't know if you've been there, but looking at those pearl divers, looking at the typical Emirati men and women sitting there, you're just transported back into that era. And we see enough of buildings, of structures, but when you see that, it just
gives you a lot of perspective.
It does.
Where we were and how we've evolved,
where we've come to,
It changes your mindset. But I've seen a lot of tourists coming and going, visiting these places, to understand the history, the culture of what UAE and Dubai as a city were about. So I'm with you completely on that.
And I'm glad to see that and know that. I know when and this was years ago, when we'd have the new hires of Emirates coming in, we used to actually take them on a tour.
Is it?
Yes, of all the old Dubai. We take them to the museum, so they would go through all of that. We take them onto the Abra side, to the other side of the souks, and then they'd have a traditional meal.
Okay.
With the I think it was the Mandi restaurants. So and that was lovely because in the movies, on television, and when you're promoting Dubai, it's all the new structures of Dubai, But when you actually see all of this solid, strong culture that's there behind the modernization of the city.
Not a lot of people talk about that. Yeah. At that point in time, within your career with Emirates and now your business, did you ever happen to think that the city would evolve to this stage and we would be where we are right now? Did it ever occur to you, or did that thought pass your mind anytime?
I could possibly see, to some extent, when you see the growth, the infrastructure, the leadership, the vision, all of those things that happen, you probably think, yes, it will be, someplace on the map, particularly with the airline, with the vision of the airline itself growing. Naturally, the city grows and all of that. But where it is today, oh my God, there's just got to be a superpower brain to create the vision
Yeah.
to where Dubai is today.
Not even
And
the slightest thought that we've been in this kind of a scenario maybe 10 years down the line.
it so truly is difficult, because I think I don't think there's another country in the world that has evolved like the UAE and Dubai.
Not at all. Not at all.
I mean, couldn't. And we were talking about it the other day, the kids and all of us, and no, there isn't. So
That's what attracts so many people to Dubai
exactly,
and to UAE.
yeah. And I always say there's one thing. I wish we had winter all through the year.
We all
we
do
have in
that.
Dubai.
Especially the
Yeah,
weather that is right now.
Yeah,
Yeah, but you
that
never
would
know.
just
Maybe
be perfect. But
you never know. Maybe
you
20
never
years
know.
down the line, it might be snowing out here.
Exactly. Yes,
Never know.
yes, with what's happening. True.
So, what was your story behind picking Emirates as a company when you were starting off?
I have to say, it was probably at that time one of the biggest companies, because there was, I think, Al Futtaim, very few big companies, but it was. I was in hospitality, done my hospitality studies and all of that, and that was at that time the best. What was a career path to
Career
take?
path.
And of course, like every dream of every young girl is, join an airline, see the world, travel the world. And as much as I loved all of that, there was one thing that always was very hard for me, particularly when I was flying those days. It was people would smoke on the aircraft.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when I say this to people now, they said, really? I'm like, people would actually
Yeah.
smoke because it's such a taboo thing now. And that was one of the reasons, for me to move from that environment into something that I wasn't susceptible to day in and day out.
Yeah.
But it was again a small airline, but it was one of the most successful at the time, because I remember before Emirates, I had applied to Saudi.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I did it only because a cousin of mine was in that airline, and I said, why not? It wasn't my first choice of a job, but when Emirates, a small airline at the time, but with so much promise.
Yes.
And it already had picked up a lot of awards in that short while. And then it just went from strength to strength, award to award, destination to destination. Oh, it was just, and now it's just nonstop. So an amazing organization. Right.
Perfect. In terms of the recruitment process, how different is it right now as to what it was earlier?
I think again, Waseem, like anything that's very small, I was seated like this. We are
One-on-one interviews, huh?
One-on-one interview.
No
a
Zooms.
gentleman, no, absolutely not. A gentleman seated in front of me, asking me a few questions. What did I do? What's my vision? Where do I want to go? What are the things I want to do? Why do I want to join Emirates? And that was it. It was just very simple. But today, of course, naturally, with so many, we were, at that time, it was just young airline, very few people. Today, with 25,000, we're so popular. The Emirates is the organization of choice.
Yeah.
So naturally, a lot more people. So there's got to be many checks and balances before you get the right person into the job. So, a lot of this, the whole process of assessment centers, higher view, one interview, the second interview, et cetera, et cetera.
It's a complete process.
Yeah. it's a whole recruitment process now. Yes.
So, in terms of your flying schedule, yeah, what was it like? So, during this 7 days of the week, how many days were you flying? How many days was rest?
Again, like I said, I didn't fly a lot, but when I did, it was I think probably about very similar to what happens now. It's 15 days on, 15
15
days
days
off.
off, yeah. One day on, one day
But
off,
one
yeah,
day,
yeah.
it depends on, 4 days, one day off. Our layovers were a lot more then, which was
Yeah.
very exciting. 4 days in Paris, 4 days in 5 days in Germany. You know,
Doesn't happen
4 days in.
nowadays.
It doesn't happen because naturally the frequency is much
Yeah,
more,
yeah.
and the need is there for regular, much more frequencies. There are a lot more aircrafts that we have. We had very few aircrafts, so therefore we couldn't send
Yeah.
that many aircrafts around. So that was the reason why it was not as frequent, but yes, a few, pretty much 15 days on, 15 days off.
But
working.
life somewhat is difficult as a cabin crew, isn't it? It looks like a very easy job, but I don't think it is very easy,
Yeah.
especially with the demanding schedule and during a flight also, you constantly have to be very attentive. There's no time
Yeah.
to rest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot has changed, Waseem, in terms of, firstly, of course, the schedules. Secondly, is what is it that people want out of this job? Are they doing it because they want to fly, they want to experience travel? Because there are, in fact, when I was managing all of these crew, some people who have, very, very well qualified to do other jobs. But there was always a yearning to travel, to see the world, to,
Okay.
experience this. And I always say, on that journey, of course, you've got a job to do, which is take care of your customers on
True.
that
Yeah.
aircraft,
Yeah.
right? And I think that's very important for people to understand. Yes, you can do all of this, and you can enjoy the lifestyle and the life in Dubai and all these beautiful places that you'll visit. But you've got your customers that you have to take care
Exactly.
of
Exactly.
along the way, and that's very important to know that that is the job that one has to do, and it comes, of course, like you've mentioned, with lack of sleep, disturbed schedules, eating at odd hours of the day or night, or your health obviously has impacts on,
Yeah.
and because of the job you're doing. So there's a lot of all of that. But do people think that it doesn't matter? It's all compensated with what I do,
With the
and
perks.
with the perks
Yeah.
that go with the job. And I guess so different strokes for different folks.
So with your experience with all these newcomers who are coming in this industry, is travel the only motivating factor, or you reckon money is also a very big motivating factor?
Well, I always, when I was, training the leadership, I always say money is a temporary motivator.
Is
Right?
it?
Yes. When people get raises in their jobs or they get a promotion, it's temporary. What really sustains you, what really gets you to stay there? It's the benefits, it's the lifestyle, it's the job you do, it's the your vision ahead of what you want to do, your purpose for doing what you're doing, your reason for being in that position. What do you want to get out of it? Because, for example, Emirates gives great bonuses and all of that. So for that short while, you're happy with it, but is it going to sustain you?
Exactly.
And I always say um, to people who was guiding and supporting and developing under me, I would, and I'd still say this, and I would say to every single person, always have a plan B.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because whatever you're doing, or you've studied for X, Y, or Z, But what is your next step? You're young, you're 22 years old, you've been into uni, you've come out of that, you've gone into a job, a great job. But how long do you want to do this? And if you want to make it a career, what are you going to do, or what plans do you have to do to get you to sustain this job that you're doing and take you into the next role that you want to do? So, what is your plan B? What's your plan B? What's your plan C? It's very important, because today, what I find is every young person wants to be an entrepreneur.
Very
Right?
true. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
so you don't really, if you in this job, it's great, but once you decide, that's it, I hang up my boots, I want to go further. What else would you do? Are you preparing yourself for that next role? And I think that's very important, is for everyone who's doing this, is to think of what is your next step. Enjoy it for a year, travel, see all these new places,
Experience it.
experience, have the fun, have the enjoy the lifestyle in Dubai and all of that. But think of what you'd like to do beyond this.
But for you to have a plan A, plan B, first of all, you need to be motivated enough and love what you do to at least sustain you for that part of your career journey, because I see a lot of people nowadays, yes, while recruiting or while talking to people, is that a few of them, not all of them, yeah, have a very short term thinking towards what they want to do, and they're not as passionate whether they're in a job or they're entrepreneurs. Their passion either ends with money or ends with the time that they devote to that. So I always believe, unless and until you're passionate about what you do and you don't give it your 110% to it, you're not, a- an option B or an option C is really not going to matter as long as you love what you do.
True. And and you having said that, that is so true, because people think for the short term,
Yeah.
most times, and that's why I'm saying this. Yeah, and that's precisely what I mean by saying, don't limit yourself to the here and now. Yeah, because when you envision your future,
Mm.
you attract it to yourself.
Yes.
And when you now think of what you'd like to do 3 years, 5 years, 10 years from now, you have already built that picture in your head, and the universe will find a way to get you what you want. But you have got to first start planting that seed.
And you
So,
really want it, to
yeah.
achieve that. Unless and
So,
until you really want that, you're
yeah.
not going to achieve
So
it.
now is the time to plant that seed, no matter what it is. Think of the craziest idea. And if you can do that, and even if you're not passionate about it, but you suddenly see something and you go, that's what I want. Plant the seed. The universe will find a way. The vibrations that you attract will find a way to get you to what you want to do. But you
Absolutely.
have to feel it right inside of you. You have to have that emotion and build and create that thought and that vision for it to happen.
Very true. Very rightly said. Again, coming back to Emirates again, what is that one lesson that you have learned and always go by that within your journey within Emirates? That one learning, that one thing that has always been constant with you.
And I've said this before, and I will say it again and again and again, Waseem, is no matter what you do, where you are, where you come from, is always treat people with kindness.
True.
Because and that is really the essence of the people around here as well. The Emiratis, the warmth, the kindness, is that don't ever let your ego of where you've come, where you are at this point in time, in this beautiful city, have all these experiences around you, the luxury and the job and all of that. Never forget that the person in front of you have their own journey that they've followed.
Yeah.
And you never know what journey that is.
True.
Even with that person on the aircraft, the person, you don't know their journey. Treat people with kindness, and what you give back will come back to you at some stage. And I've followed that as much as I can along the way, even in terms of managing people, is that you don't have to use the whip. The carrot is good enough,
Yeah.
and it finds its way back to you.
You need to know how to motivate people and keep yourself grounded.
Yep.
We always say, feet on the ground.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I truly believe in that.
Yeah. And this takes me back very quickly to the story of Henry Ford. And it comes up a lot. He was interviewing two people, and he took them to a restaurant, and so they had a meal and all of this, and when they got out of the restaurant, he said to one of them, "Thank you very much."
Mm-hmm.
He said, "We'll be in touch." And to the other, he said, "You've got the job."
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
So the guy who obviously didn't get the job, he was like, we ate the same food, we had the same conversation, we did the same things. What motivated you to give this gentleman the job and not me? And he said two things. He said, one, he said, "You first put salt on your steak."
Okay.
And then you ate it, right?
Mm.
And the second is, the way you spoke to us and to the waiter was very different.
Yeah.
Right? So he said, always first test the food before you add the salt. Right.
Very valid point.
And the second is, how you treat other people tells a lot about who you are.
Absolutely. 100%. 100%.
And that story always stuck with me, because I think it resonated a lot to how we navigate through life.
Yeah.
Is before making assumptions, before being judgmental about something, allow a situation to take its course before you react to it.
Then come up with a decision as to how you want to solve it. Yeah. Very well said. Very well said.
Add the salt later.
Add the salt later. Yeah. Taste it first. You've seen your journey in Emirates. Now you're an entrepreneur. Yeah. What's the difference? And in terms of course, as a career growth, with the passage of time, you always want to get on your feet. But if you had to, in hindsight, rate your experience as a person, as an employee in a company, in a big company, or as an entrepreneur, what would you choose?
So this is something else that I often think of, and go by this saying that if you don't do something for yourself, you'll be doing it for someone else.
Yeah.
Right?
Very true.
So I think I did my journey with Emirates, with a company, for a long time. And everything has an expiry date.
Yeah.
Yeah. And when I sit back now and I look at it, sometimes I say to myself, I wish I'd done this a long time ago. But then doing what I do, which is, a lot of my own retrospecting and thinking about something, I say, no, there's always a right time when, the universe brings you to this place that you are in. And there was huge amount of growth, development, personal satisfaction, amazing learnings from being in a corporate environment.
Yeah.
But when you transition into your own entrepreneurial journey, there again is an amazing world out there that's very different to being in a corporate.
Yeah.
And I love it. I love the networking. I love the people I meet, the places I go to, the environments that I'm in, the entrepreneurial understanding of, someone from corporate to entrepreneur, from those who are already in the entrepreneurial journey, those who have already reached the pinnacle of their entrepreneurial journey and now
Yeah.
moving into scaling into another level, perhaps going global, etc. And I'm going through all of these journeys and I'm seeing all of this. And there's so much out here. There's so much opportunity. And I always say there's space for everybody,
True.
you know? And I think we've always got to remember that as well. But again, when I think of where we are, it's a journey that everyone, when they take, it's the right time that you've taken it.
Perfect.
And I love what I'm doing now. I love the journey that I'm on. I've been through that journey, and again, it's a train journey. You get off a station, you get on. You need more people.
Yeah.
You need you meet different passengers. Some you carry with you to the next station. Some you have to leave behind. Some are great that you've spoken with. Some aren't. So that's that journey that you will continue to go
That's
on
life.
on the train,
That's
and
life.
that's the train journey of life.
So no
Yes.
regrets. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So we come to another segment of our show, is the rapid fire section.
Okay.
Yeah? I'll ask you a question. You tell me the first thing that pops into your head.
Okay.
Favorite Emirates destination?
Germany.
How do you handle stress on flights?
Smile.
Favorite Dubai attraction for first-time visitors?
Dubai Museum.
Dubai Museum, yeah. And in the olden days?
In the olden days.
In a cafe having mandi.
Yeah.
Best place in Dubai for personal relaxation?
The beach.
The beach, yeah. Well, not in this weather, but
No. Or the mountains. I love going, traveling to the other parts
yeah.
of UAE. Yeah.
If you could describe Dubai in one word, what would it be?
Absolutely extraordinary.
Preferred cuisine in Dubai?
Thai.
One tip for women moving to Dubai?
Keep yourself open to learning from other people around, from other mums, from other ladies, and definitely join networking groups.
But that can be for men as well.
Oh, men as well. Yeah, absolutely.
Most inspiring part of Dubai's culture?
I've said this before, and it's just the warmth, simplicity, and kindness of the people around.
Okay. Most memorable coaching success story?
It was a person I'd met, and I was giving them the power of the subconscious mind, talking to them about this, and I didn't realize how deep the pain was, or the troubles was, the trauma was. And I was just having this very casual conversation with them. And I said, here's a book. Here's the book, The Power of Subconscious Mind. It's something I've lived by for many, 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 many years. And I said, here's a cassette as well, because or a CD. Those days we used to have the cassette, or now the CD. So I said, have a listen to it, but I said, return that to me, because that's difficult to get by. But of course, here's the book for you. And the person came back to me about 10 days later and said, here's the audio, and thank you for the book. And that night was a very difficult night for me. The night I spoke with you. I'm glad I spoke with you that night, because I don't know if I'd be here speaking with you.
Oh.
And I think that was a huge turning point for me to continue on this journey that I was, to help as many people as I can, because again, you don't know someone else's story.
Yes.
And
what they're going through.
Yeah.
On a lighter note.
Yeah.
Favorite weekend activity in Dubai?
Oh, well, I wouldn't say in Dubai, but I'd say, in the UAE, is my husband and I, we have this, that every second week, we will explore a different attraction in Dubai or a different place in the UAE. And that's what we do. So we drive out of the city. 1 week we drive out of the city, and 1 week we'd be exploring something in Dubai.
And how long have you been
going
with this tradition?
Oh, at least about maybe 6 or 7 years.
6-7
Yeah.
years.
It was just before the kids went away to university,
So it's
and we have a very close net circle of friends, and so we do that with them, or we do it on our own if they're not available.
So you've managed to get 150 unique experiences over 6-7 years.
Sometimes the same place,
Okay.
but in a different part of the
But you see, this is what
Yeah.
Dubai is. Yeah.
It is.
Imagine you've
Yeah.
done 100 experiences.
Absolutely.
That's
Yeah.
a big number for a
Yeah.
city.
Yeah.
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 Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for your time, Judy.
Thank
Really
you.
appreciate it. It was a lovely conversation. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Thank you for your
And,
time once again.
Wish you all the best,
Thank you.
Waseem, because it's an amazing journey that you're taking people on to know more about Dubai, more about.
We just want to share it with the world what we love.
And
as simple as that.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
It's sharing the love.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you for joining us today. Please like and subscribe, and see you in the next episode.